G'day, g'day, g'day. Thank you for clicking on my video. As you can tell, it's a reaction to Tom MacDonald's Castles. Now, looking at the black and white imagery, it could be something that's going to be very heartfelt. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this. So let's not wait any longer and give our attention to Tom MacDonald's Castles.
I see you at the liquor store, leaving with the cheapest can of beer on the shelf. You ain't living on the street, but you barely making rent, and I relate because I'm struggling myself. I see you smile at the clerk while you fumble through your purse. I just wish I had a little more to help. I imagine where you living, how you feeling, what you loving, who you'll be if you can make it out your hell. I see you at the bus stop, looking at the sidewalk, smoking half a cigarette, waiting for a ride.
It seems that Tom MacDonald is saying he can relate with who the person it sounds like he's talking about, could be a young lady. He can relate to the struggles that she's going through because he's going through struggles himself. As for me, when I've gone through hard times, I would prefer someone to come up and say, look, I've been through what you're going through. So I'm here to comfort you. I'm here to be with you. I'd rather that than someone come up, although it's very nice, I'd rather that than someone come up and say, look, I can't imagine what you're going through, but I'm here for you. Now that's nice, but it's certainly a lot better when you know that you're being comforted by someone who has gone through something very similar. Jesus is the same. When he left heaven and came to earth, he took on humanity. He took on our condition. He felt our grief. He felt our sorrows. Jesus was rejected. He was despised. He felt the feelings and the emotions of what it is to be rejected and despised. He was punished. He was afflicted. Ultimately, he was put to death. So he knows the human condition and he knows our frailties and he's been through it all. So when it comes to comforting someone, Jesus can comfort you in any situation that you're in, any emotions that you're feeling. Jesus has been through it. Jesus has been through it. Apostle Paul says in the Corinthians that Jesus is our high priest because he has been through what we've been through. He feels our emotions. He feels our grief. He feels our pain. He feels our hurt. He understands our confusions. And that's why he is well able to comfort us when we go to him. Yeah. And then there's a sort of the pay forward sort of thing where Apostle Paul also talks about when God has comforted us, and we know what it's like to be comforted by God. When we've experienced that, we have a pay forward thing where we go and comfort others, knowing that how we've been comforted, we comfort others in the same way.
I imagine where you living, how you feeling, what you loving, who you'll be if you can make it out your hell. I see you at the bus stop, looking at the sidewalk, smoking half a cigarette, waiting for a ride. Kinda limp when you walk and look away. When you talk, you're ashamed, I can see it in your eyes. Probably got a NASCAR shirt and a car that you love, but you're here because you're too afraid to drive. It's been almost 10 years since the day that you crashed. Can't forget about the little boy's life. Everybody's got a story. If you look a little closer, you can see it in the wrinkles.
That's a story, isn't it? Talking about someone who has a bit of a limp. They love cars. They have a NASCAR t-shirt. They're talking about how they have their own car, because obviously they must love cars. They've got a NASCAR t-shirt. But they haven't driven for 10 years because there was an accident and a little boy got killed. And that person is living with their guilt, and it, excuse me, this is really sad. They're living with their guilt and it is destroying them. They're living with the guilt. They keep imagining the impact it would have had on the boy's family. They know the impact it's had on themselves, and they're probably even imagining the impact it's had on their own family as well. And they're trying to live with this guilt. And the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's a guilt that is deserved, because many of us deserve guilt. But sometimes we put guilt on ourselves and it's not even deserved. But either way, God is well able, through his mercy and through his grace, to take that guilt away. In fact, he doesn't take it away. He commands us to give him that guilt. He says, come unto me, all you who are heavy laden, with all your problems, with all your emotions, with your guilt and your frustrations and your hurt and your pain. Come unto me and I will give you rest. Take my yoke or take my burden upon you in exchange for yours, because my yoke or my burden is very light to carry. And all that yoke is just following the Lord Jesus. There's an exchange going on, and if we would only do that.
See it in your eyes. Probably got a NASCAR shirt and a car that you love, but you're here because you're too afraid to drive. It's been almost 10 years since the day that you crashed. Can't forget about the little boy's life. Everybody's got a story. If you look a little closer, you can see it in the wrinkles in their face. They can hide it in the silence, they can bury it and fight it, but it comes out when the hair is turning gray. You can feel it if you touch them. You can tell that they are troubled. You can hear the story running through their veins. We all travel different roads and we put on different clothes. Underneath it all, we're really all the same. We've all got problems and
we all got problems. He's talking about many of us try and hide our pain and hide our confusion. I don't know, maybe we feel ashamed if people know that we've got problems in our lives. Maybe we feel ashamed if people knew that we were feeling pain. That's really sad as well, that we try and hide this inner turmoil that we're going through. We're all supposed to be supporting one another, but we're humans. But we have God, and God is there. And let's not hide that inner turmoil and confusion that we're going through. Let's not hide it from God. For he sees it anyway. He's just waiting for us to take some steps towards him. And I tell you now, God is like this. You start taking a few steps towards God, right? He's already there with his arms open to comfort. You take a few steps towards God, he starts running towards you. Life has given us lemons, and we are told to turn those lemons into lemonade. Well, what I believe is that there's an exchange that goes on. When life gives us lemons, we give those lemons to God. We don't turn it into lemonade. We give those lemons to God, and it's God who gives us the lemonade. So my advice, when you're feeling lonely, distressed, any sort of heartache or pain, sure, you might feel shame or you might feel embarrassed for anyone else to know. I understand that. Take it to God. He already knows what you're going through. He feels your pain. He's been there.
You can feel it if you touch them. You can tell that they are troubled. You can hear the story running through their veins. We all travel different roads and we put on different clothes. Underneath it all, we're really all the same. We've all got problems and we all feel alone.
Yep.
We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown.
Yeah.
Or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. We've all got problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown. Or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. I see you sitting on the front porch playing with a radio, looking to the sky. Probably living in that house all alone these days, trying to find a better way to pass time. Got a wheelchair ramp leading up to the door, I can see that you walk just fine. Probably hate it because it isn't getting used anymore, and you only ever built it for your wife. Everywhere that I walk, see you on the sidewalk begging for a...
Isn't that? You see some old people, just go up and say hello. Just go up and say hello.
Probably hate it because it isn't getting used anymore, and you only ever built it for your wife. Everywhere that I walk, see you on the sidewalk begging for a little loose change for some dope. Probably got a mama and a papa spending everything they make, trying to clean you up enough to take you home. Used to have a good job, used to get good grades, used to have big dreams, and he lost hope. When your girlfriend died, giving birth to your son, you're the father that'll probably never know. Everybody has a tale that they're too afraid to tell. You can see it in the cracks in their hand.
Yeah, so there seems to be two things going on there about that young fella that Tom MacDonald is singing about life has given him lemons, but then again, life has also given him lemonade, especially with his parents. And life is like that. Most of us get lemons. Most of us get lemons. But there's some, life gives them lemonade, but they make mistakes. And it's human to make mistakes. And they get lemonade, and their mistakes turns that lemonade into lemons. And that's the way life is. But it doesn't matter whether we're given lemons or whether we're given lemonade and our mistakes have turned it into lemons. It doesn't matter, because God is bigger than all of that. God can he doesn't turn those lemons into lemonade. He exchanges our lemons into lemonade. He takes our mistakes and he exchanges them for victories. And that's all just within having a relationship with God. He's singing about filling your coffins. You can either fill your coffins with stones, or you can build castles with the sticks and stones. And I think that's a challenge for us. You can either live with your pain and your suffering and your loneliness and regrets and guilt, and how we always think back of the things that we've done, the things that we've been through. You can either live with that, or you can go to God, have a relationship with him, and give him all that. So instead of living in the past, living in the present, and all your turmoil, filling your coffin with stones, you can build a relationship, giving those sticks and stones to God, where he gives you a castle in return. The Bible talks about this exchange where Jesus gives us beauty for ashes. He gives us the oil of joy for mourning. He gives us the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. There's a song, it's a really old song. You who are Christians, who knows, you might remember it. It goes something like this. Something beautiful, something good. All my confusions Christ understood. All I had to offer him was brokenness and strife, but he made something beautiful out of my life. And that is what Christianity is. It's a relationship with Christ. That's what it is. And it's an exchange.
Enough to take you home. Used to have a good job, used to get good grades, used to have big dreams, and he lost hope. When your girlfriend died, giving birth to your son, you're the father that'll probably never know. Everybody has a tale that they're too afraid to tell. You can see it in the cracks in their hands. They can cover it with smiles if you walk a couple miles in their shoes, and you'll know where they stand. Everyone who really lived had to climb out of a ditch they were in before they found the right path. If you want to know the truth about what we've been going through, then try to put your phone away so you can ask. We've all got problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. We've all got problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. We are the neighbors that you'll never meet. We are the strangers walking down your street. We are a million faces in the crowd. We are the ones the system's tearing down. We are the people working to survive. We are more than just our 9-to-5s. We are the shopping malls and streetcars. We are one. It's time to tell them just who we are. We've all got problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. We've all got problems and we all feel.
God never promised us blue skies without rain. God never promised us a footpath through life that's covered in, flowers, petals. God never promised us a life of joy without pain. God never promised us a life full of happiness without sadness. So there's a time of joy, but there's a time to mourn. There's a time of happiness and a time of sadness. So we do have those things in our life. But John tells us also that God is well able to turn those times, our troubles, our afflictions, just in our relationship with Him, can turn those things ultimately for the good. So God feels our pain. God feels our hurt. God understands our emotions and our confusions. God understands the problems that we're going through. But God is bigger than all those things. He is so much bigger than all those things. You're not alone. God is with you. You're not alone. But you've got to take the first steps. Jesus is a gentleman. He will not force His comfort upon you, although He wants to. And although there are tears in His eyes when He sees you struggling, and He desperately wants to take you under His wings, He won't force His comfort upon you. But I guarantee you just take that first step and He will come running to you with His arms open wide.
We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones.